Hello, this is the Bitcoin Libertarian, and here we are again with the episode number 11. We can complete now a complete football team of Bitcoin Treasury companies. We had a small problem that all the other episodes were in another channel that again was banned by YouTube, but we are going to re-upload in a new channel and in Rumble so we don't lose. Of course, I have them in my hard drive, so there's not going to be a problem. Here we are with Marco. Marco, how are you doing?
Hi, Fernando. I'm doing great. And yes, number 11. So which role would you like to play? Striker?
No,
Midfielder?
I'm a
You're a
goalkeeper.
goalkeeper. You're a goalkeeper.
I play all my life
Great.
as a goalkeeper since I was a kid. Then I went through the path to become a professional football player, but then stopped playing when I started university. Then I was playing at the university, and I retired at the age of 27 as a good goalkeeper. Then I started playing tennis, and now I train martial arts. I start fighting. So, but yeah,
Yeah, but you were a former goalkeeper. Nice.
I'm a goalkeeper. And how about you?
Yeah, me actually, I play much more futsal than football. So I was playing more, the kind of the striker. So
And I'm sure that as Italian, and I do agree, we are gonna play catenaccio. It's not gonna be a football team like with Gioco
Catenaccio,
Bonito.
yeah, for the audience is like more tactical, more defense, like 10 people behind the ball and tight defense, not like Joga Bonito from Brazil, no?
Yes,
But
totally. It's a conservative way. Nothing as at least I am on the financial side, on the investment side, that I like taking a lot of risk. But yeah, that's the football. You have this Italian that made win 4 World Cups by taking care of the defense first. There are some tactics, and as usually also in finance, there is not a complete true because sometimes some methods are better than the others. Sometimes you being conservative, you become better or whatever. So the most important thing is to study. I want to start doing a little recap of what happened this week here in Hong Kong. We had the Bitcoin conference, the Bitcoin Asia conference. To be honest, I was expecting more shitcoin stuff. I was not expecting anything about the Bitcoin conference. It was more like an affiliate conference, affiliate marketing conference without the models. I come from the affiliate marketing world, so usually the affiliate conference are talking 100% about money, about making money, about Lambos, and there are models walking around with the logos of the companies that are exhibiting. I felt this conference and the essence of this conference as not a Bitcoin conference with the ethos of Bitcoin, because we need to discuss how we have to make rich Bitcoin 8 billion people. So, and I think that this conference was not talking about that. Besides that, there were many good panels. The first day was a shitcoin day. It was like the shitcoin day. They looked like a shitcoin conference. I didn't attend to many speeches. I saw a couple of them and were shitcoiner. I was more visiting friends and meeting people that I used to interview in the podcast. The second day was a little bit more interesting because there were a couple of panels with the CEOs and the key people from the Bitcoin Treasury companies. I attend to a panel with the new Bitcoin. I don't remember the name. Jesse, I think is Jesse Myers. The new Bitcoin Treasury strategy manager or something like that from Smart and Web Company. With Alexander Lysette from Capital B. Also, there was a big panel with Adam Back, with Andrew Webley. A lot of discussions related to the Bitcoin Treasury companies. And then was Chef Walton from True North, that is the guy, one of the guys who delivered a lot of developed a lot of metrics. so far these topics were really good. On the other side, the conference, the ticket was for free, so for me it's not a problem. I have to spend only 50 minutes traveling, but for someone who wants to come from the other part of the world to attend this conference, it's not worth it. But yes, let's see what the future brings.
Yeah, Fernando, I think it's mainly now for those conference also try to do networking and mainly also to kind of
No,
create this new space, but it's
but
between Bitcoin and other stuff, and real Bitcoiner doesn't really like it.
no,
So
but
we'll
the
see.
point is that the thing is that I understand because I've been in another conference that are 100% hardcore Bitcoiners that I don't even understand what they talk about because they talk a lot about the technicalities and the aspects of the security and the privacy and all the things that are not popular for the people are really important. But I think that this conference, what we need to understand is that we need to make Bitcoin reach 8 million people. So we are not going to make them reach 8 million people talking about shitcoins. So we need to talk about Bitcoin. You need to talk about what is the problem. I didn't find any panel talking about uh, economics, talking about the problem of inflation, a little bit Mark Moss. So how the philosophy behind Bitcoin, the why we need Bitcoin, why we need this to fight against the inflation. So I feel more like a shitcoin conference with a couple of good panels that were mostly from the Bitcoin Treasury company. They already announced that they're going to be holding the conference here in Hong Kong next year. The same date is free. I applied for the free ticket. Let's see if I go. But the most important thing is that yesterday I've been hanging out with Andrew Webley. People will see the video in the YouTube channel. It was a really fun day because I shared a lot of things with him, and it's amazing to be with some all day sharing stories with someone who is building something great in Bitcoin. And again, he gave me a couple of T-shirts. He brought me a lot of T-shirts. So one for sure is for you. So
Thank you, Fernando, and thank you, Andrew. Then thank you both.
anyway, so as and I want to put that as the Bitcoin our channel was taken down, and I create a new one. I will be starting the channel with the video of yesterday with Andrew, and I will put so that our video is gonna be on Tuesday instead of Monday. So that's for only for this week. But anyways, and also we had some noise. We have the price going down of Bitcoin. People again on fear, the fear and greed index falling below 50. What happened?
Yeah, I mean, Fernando, I think it's kind of normal what we see in August and September, especially after the halving year for Bitcoin, in which we have some kind of cool off of price action, of demand and supply, and some kind of less interest during summer, which is kind of feasible for any market, and even more so for a tiny market as Bitcoin. So I think so far so good. We are revisiting probably the 105, 110K, which is again a mental level, especially above the 100,000. So I think it's so far it's everything in place just to try to reduce the leverage, try to reduce some euphoria, and maybe be prepared for the next leg up. So now we will see these two kind of vision, the bears and the bulls again. So we will see on X a lot of people claiming that the bull run is over, that Bitcoin is destined to go back to 60 or 50. And then you have the other camp in which say, no, it's not even started. We will go to 500,000 or 1 million. So I think now for the next months, each one of us needs to be critical, needs to be very cautious on which people to listen from, where to take data, and just to be as consistent as possible and just DCA Bitcoin because it's the best strategy. So I think it's kind of normal price action on Bitcoin. But what we see, and maybe it's the first topic I would like to cover with you, Fernando, is gold is almost, it's at new all-time high and is shy for $3,500 per ounce. So maybe I can share my screen here. Let me see if you see it.
Yes, now I see it. Yes.
Yeah. So the point is we are on this fledge, and it's since beginning of 2025. As we know, gold is grinding up, and also even more so if we see like the charts, it almost went up straight up since 2023. So almost in a straight line, and now it's on a consolidation over the last I think 5 months from April. And now we see that we are trying to break up again and to go to the discovery phase of new price action for gold, which is, in my opinion, very bullish for Bitcoin as well. Because historically, as we know from seeing data and studying the markets, normally gold move first because it's the most liquid market, is like the first one to sniff out any monetary debasement, any problem with government printing too much money. So if gold keeps climbing higher and breaks consistently this threshold, I think it's very likely also to see Bitcoin to break up higher. So this other is the chart of Bitcoin, and we see that is a different price action. But again, it's only trying to revisit these levels here from May of 2025. So I think it's an healthy correction from this very parabolic move that we see from July, that we just went vertical, and now we are just covering all this section. We clear it up. So I think now as a Bitcoiner, I would like to see what's moving up with gold, what's going on with the interest rate globally, and if there is another wave of money printing, I think Bitcoin will benefit from it.
Yeah, and it's I think that is coming a money printing in September. All the indicators says that they will reduce the the interest rate. So money printing is coming, and let me point one thing. Let me pick up some stuff, because again, of course, people, they probably are. I think that what is happening now, this sentiment of fear that is happening now, is because most of the people, me included, were expecting today have Bitcoin over 200K. But that doesn't trigger me fear. That's the thing. So I think that, as you said, we need to be cautious what is going to happen next upcoming months. And I like listening to Jordi Visser, that usually is once a week with Pompliano, and he's talking about this kind of new movement of Bitcoin, that a big jump, then following like
Consolidation.
horizontally, then consolidation, another big jump. I don't think, again, I'm always saying, I don't think that Bitcoin can go to 550K, 60K. I don't think so. Let's say it can, but if we have a world catastrophe in the world that can trigger something that is happening, because we were talking with Andrew that we have now these new players that are the treasury companies, that they can get money very easy on the market. It's not like the retail. So I think that if Bitcoin prices go down, they are going to pick more money and buy more. So that's the thing.
They're
Especially
raising the
knowing,
floor. They are raising the floor of Bitcoin price.
that's the point, especially knowing Sailor, because retail probably can say, okay, yes, we can wait. Or if you listen some advisors that say, no, Bitcoin will go to 60K, retail can say, okay, we can wait until touch 60K and buy more. But Sailor is not gonna wait. Sailor goes and buys. Metaplanet goes and buys. The Smarter Web Company goes and buys. So I think that again, everything can happen in finance because we don't have the crystal ball, but a, a reduction of like probably 50%, a correction of 50%. I like to post, and I posted today on X, that Bitcoin is in a perpetual bull run. I think that the bull run of Bitcoin started in 2009, and we have corrections like everything. And again, with the ETF, I think that the ETFs were still buying. The Treasury company is buying. I think that Bitcoin can go down, yes, but if it goes down, these companies are going to come and buy from the paper hands and buy the Bitcoin, and that's the point.
I agree. Especially, I don't see a 50 or 60% correction from this stage of Bitcoin. If we fast forward in 6 months and we are like in a more vertical price action for the last weeks or months, and we are at 250, 300, yeah, for sure, I can envision a 50% drop. But from here, from this consolidation pattern that we see, breakout of new all-time high, consolidation for weeks or months, another breakup, consolidation for weeks. I cannot see feasible like a 50 or 60% drop from these price ranges, from this level, even more so considering what's coming after. Then maybe I can also share this one, Fernando, quickly,
yes.
about the next potential rate cut from the Fed. So this is CME Group that is posting a very updated market sentiment for the interest rates for the Federal Reserve to know what's the probabilities of the next rate cut, if there will be one. And now in 17th of September, which is the next meeting, the market participants are saying at 86% that we will see one rate cut of 25 basis points. Then on 29 of October, the situation is more 50-50, but the market is still expecting another 25 basis point rate cut in 29 of October. And then also the 10th of December, there is still a 50-50. So market now is, depending, of course, those probabilities can change very quickly, but as of today, markets are expecting 75 basis point cut during the next 3 meetings. But again, if something bad happens, if some reports come out short, etc., this can be 100 or 125 or even 50 to be transparent. But I think between 50 and 100% is likely. And again, gold first and Bitcoin second, as a second mover, will probably eat alive most of those
Yes.
excess of capital.
Yes, and I think, and again, I think that there is not huge macro problems that we can see that can trigger some bear market. Was not like in 2022 that there were a lot of companies in the Bitcoin space, like the FTX and all these scams that were happening. I think that again, now the industry and the market is solid. Again, can happen anything, but can go to 100, possibly, can go to 90, possibly, but I think that below that, I don't think so, unless there is a global crisis that I don't see in the short term. Anything can happen, but I don't see in the short term. Plus, if we are expecting rate cuts, no financial advice, but you should buy some before the crazy shit start happening.
Yeah, and again, we don't know exactly when it will happen. We don't know exactly in which scale it will happen. Probably won't be, this very direct and super pumping of liquidity as we witnessed in 2020 during COVID. I think it will be a much more, modular, a much more gradual situation. But for sure, the indicators are telling us that the global money supply is going in new all-time high territory. Interest rate globally, and especially with the Fed, which is the cornerstone of all the central banks, are probably going down by 50, 75, or 100 basis points over the next 3 months, which is kind of relevant. Then we see gold breaking up. Then we see, this consolidation phase for Bitcoin. We haven't seen yet retail, which again, in every cycle for this kind of asset class, retail at some point in the cycle will show up. So again, I don't see this euphoria for leverage. We don't see this euphoria on retail. We don't see crazy verticality for Bitcoin. Everything has been pretty solid. Everything has been pretty consolidating and mature. So again, I expect still for Bitcoin volatility and some weeks or even months of crazy price action that I haven't seen yet. So yes,
You
for me,
mean
we are in a neutral stage for me.
crazy price action up, down, or both?
I mean, considering the setup, and my thesis is that Bitcoin is superior to gold, far superior to gold for many metrics. So if gold is about to break up and we are still in a ratio of 34 between Bitcoin and gold, my target is around 50 or 60. So for me, if gold doubles, Bitcoin should quadruple or quintuple from that. Because for me, that's the new range that we should set up and that we should target. So for me, we will see probably some drawdown in the future. Of course, we will, but it's because probably we see some more higher price action on to the higher level. That's my general take as of today. With this, with my thesis, of course, and with this market condition that can change, but my fundamental thesis won't change.
Excellent. And there was some news about MicroStrategy or strategy, a lawsuit
Yes.
that were circulating.
Maybe I can share also this one,
Yeah, yeah,
Fernando.
yeah.
Please, we can discuss. Yeah. So. Um, what we had recently is that strategy. I mean, some investors in strategy in the past months open a kind of class action. They try to open a lawsuit against the company that was about this company. Wait, there is some ads here. The company, I think, is Pomeranz LLC in New York. I saw it before here. Yes. So they try to start this class action with the investor on strategy, trying to claim that the company overstated profit over Q1 and Q2 of 2025, that they didn't disclose exactly the operations and the changing on the business model of the company, which is kind of ironic because, again, I think also someone that is not investing in strategy participated to their own earning calls. Michael Saylor went for 5 straight years to podcast on X, on television.
Yeah, now
Saying,
there is no one more clear than
yeah,
Sailor, more transparent in the business model of the company and what the company is doing. Is as
yeah,
transparent that is teaching other companies to do the same. So
yeah. I think if you say that they are not transparent or they are not clear with investor, I mean, take another company and show me if they are more transparent with investor with the quick timing on the market about some news or address some issue or simply displaying exactly what will be over the next years. I think strategy is top tier, one of the best on the space, not only on the space but in general on the public space. So this kind of alleged things against strategy and the board is kind of ironic for me. And also the last one was about accounting, how they account, Bitcoin. This is not a real operation, blah blah blah. But again, there is an institution in the US about the accounting, and they said that it's possible to count Bitcoin and to put inside a corporate balance sheet the unrealized profit. And again, they simply follow the updated accounting measures and accounting standards that is active in the US. So again, there is no fraud or no misinterpretation of anything. It's simply a new edge technology, is a new edge for accounting, is a new way of doing finance, is a pioneer. So it can be sometimes complicated to follow. There could be some gray areas. I agree, but this kind of lawsuit was um, above their skis, was above their the actual claims, and so I think they just dismiss the file, and that's it.
Yeah.
So I think it's a good news for strategy overall.
I think that these are the typical crap that the lawyers do. It's the typical lawyers. They work. I hope that they are replaced by AI soon. The lawyers, the accountants, all this crap. Lawyers are always trying to find some gray area where to make
Mhm.
profit. So that's the
Yeah.
point. So I think that there are a group of lawyers that try to convince the people to do the close the close action and make some money. And on the other side, the lawyers, they already made money because of course the clients pay them. So that's the I think that the lawyers are these, I don't know how to say in English, but these we call them buitres in Argentina, like this like these birds that eat
Ah,
the dead animal.
scavengers. I think it's
Exactly.
scavengers in English,
Yes. So
that they
they
look
are
forward for dead bodies
they are always
all
looking
over the place.
for gray areas in the companies, and they love doing this crap. But again, it's that you cannot say that Sailor is not transparent. He's, I think that the guy who is, as you said, explaining for years what they are doing, explaining for
There is
years.
live metrics on their own company
That's
website about
on the
everything, about
website.
debt, about the stock option, everything.
Every time they bought Bitcoin, they release a press release. The only thing that you can complain is what we were talking, I think, last week or the previous week. This change in the ATM policy. That of course they released something and they changed, but at the end of the day, we were discussing that there was not something related to law. There was no the rule was they said we are going to do this, but in the middle they changed something that
And
that
there
can
was
be done.
an internal guidance and an internal guideline for the ATM that they released to the market. Then they change. So it's voluntary disclosure. There was no strict policy or law breaking. So I don't know. I don't see.
Again, what we were discussing last week, and something that was discussed also in the conference, that the world of finance is changing, and all the people that are the analysts that are on the top newspapers, on the top TV shows, and they are all wrong. They need to go and study again and humble themselves
Do the work.
and
Yes.
go do the work and understand what is happening with these new companies. So, and again, and as we were saying before at the beginning, people need to understand where to look for information now. Now the mainstream is full of shit. You need to go to
It's
look for
super late.
information.
They're super late and wrong. So it's a mess.
That's the thing. So you need to look for information in other sources. Of course, it's different. You need to go. You need to do your own research. I suggest to listen a couple of different people and make your own conclusions. But again, there is a lot of people in Twitter. There is a lot of people in YouTube that are educating the masses for free. Chef Walton was here on the conference talking about that. The guys from True North. Again, I always name the same guys to go and search information. Of course, us that we are trying to do our best, but again, all the models, as Sailor said, all the models are going to be destroyed, and all the finance, the corporate, the old finance is over. We need to understand, we need to study how the new companies operate and deliver the message correctly so people can do their own decisions based on the information they get.
Yeah. And Fernando, if I may add one thing, again, because Wall Street finance is is a very very tough game, is a brutal game, and especially the professional people wants to take all the money that they can and try to manipulate the market as long as possible in all legal, quasi legal, and even sometimes illegal ways. So my point is that how easy is for those people like major short seller of MicroStrategy, the Jim Chanos or the other, big hedge fund that they just call each other. It's enough to have like 3 or 4 of those big capital allocator, etc., and try to decide and coordinate like a short selling or a kind of try to price down a stock, because for them will be very profitable, and just do some other phone calls and try to convince a couple of big law firms just to start and put outside the information that they are doing a potential lawsuit, a potential class action. We will investigate because X, Y, and Z. The market will react. It's a very volatile stock, so the market will probably react badly because most of investors are not even very aware of what's happening. So imagine it's just a couple of phone calls by big people with a lot of capital pools that they decided to do a coordinated attack against one stock. I'm not just saying against strategy. It happened in the past with many stocks. And again, it's enough to have like 2 or 3 and just call a couple of big lawyers and to set up a preliminary arrangement, some preliminary discussion. And again, the market will tank and they will do billions or hundreds of millions if you apply leverage. So,
but you know how I see this? You know, I love fighting and I love mixed martial arts and I love fights. I see that the traditional finance, are these fighters that are losing the fight and are trying to shoot, to punch and brawl because they don't know what to do. They are losing. They don't know why they are losing. And again, it's just a question of time. One of the things that I want to mention is something that I was talking with Andrew, is that all these companies, the treasury companies, and this is the magic, they don't see each other as competitors. So they are all in the same team. They are all on the same page. Of course, competing for who has more Bitcoin, but they are all supporting each other. So again, we are super early because we are super early. I remember last year, the Bitcoin conference was mostly about regulation and Bitcoin ETF. Nobody was talking about treasury companies. In fact, there was a speech for Dylan Leclerc that was just announced as the head of Bitcoin strategy of Metaplanet. And the speech was not even related to Metaplanet or the strategy of Metaplanet. So that early we are, I think that, again, the old dinosaurs of finance are over. Either you adapt at the new rules of the finance that are being created by all these people, or you are not going to be part of the game anymore. Of course, in the transition, they still can attack, but their attacks are going to be less and less effective, conforming the time goes on and more people is educated in how all this new finance world is working. That's the point.
That's a fair assessment, and but yes, on the short term, or in this transition phase, as you called, in which there is a lot of uncertainty, sometimes a lot of misinformation, sometimes even confusion, or things are moving so fast and so quickly. We will see many of those kind of gray situation in which people want to take advantage and make money against even the truth, or against retail, which are naive and which they don't know
I
exactly
think that
what
the most affected people is the retail. So that's why we always suggest, even though I'm super bullish on Bitcoin, I'm super bullish on strategy, I'm super bullish on all this new world that is coming, I suggest to the people, don't put money, just put spare money. Just put money that you are not going to touch in 4, 5,
X
6
amount of
years.
years. Yes.
So don't take loans to do this. So don't take leverage, because you cannot fight against them. So it's like an analogy of fighting is like me trying to fight Conor McGregor. I probably last 1 second, if I last 1 second with him. So that's the point. So for people, what you need to do is start looking for these learning, looking for this real knowledge that is online. But on the same time, if you want to invest, experiment with your own money, if you want to do your bets, try to think in the long term. Try to put money, and again, it's not that you get your salary, your paycheck, and put all on Bitcoin or put all on strategy. No, just okay. You this month you can save $20, $100 put on Bitcoin, or $1,000 put some on strategy or some stock. That's the best way, and wait for 4 or 5 years, and you will win. But don't try to time the market. Don't try to do this crazy
Make easy
stuff.
money. Easy money do not exist.
Easy money always end up bad. The easy money. So that's the thing. So that's my opinion. We do this for the people like us, for the retails. Again, don't take risks. I love taking risks. Again, but I'm not talking about. But don't take these crazy risks. Don't take risks of like trying to put money because you think that next month is going to be double. No. This is a long game. This is a marathon. It's not a sprint. Be prepared to be shaking in the journey, but
yeah, and avoid leverage, avoid playing with derivatives, avoid play with options, because again, you can be directionally correct on a trend, but you can be completely wrong on the short term of the direction of this trend. So
of course,
especially for retail, I mean, there is no sense of risking money or using leverage to try to be faster than someone. You just need to do cautiously things, avoid leverage, avoid derivatives, avoid playing with option, avoid burning money. That's my only advice.
The point is that most of the people, most of the retail, they think that they are late to Bitcoin, to strategy, to Metaplanet, to all this wave. So they want to do shortcuts. They want to make money with shortcuts, and that's why. And we are not late. In fact, we are early. Of course, we were not. We were later, or people is later from the people who invest in a strategy 3 years ago. Of course, that you are late against them, but talking about the market,
over the general trend, no. Yeah.
In general trend, we are super early. So that's the thing. Don't take
risks. Or
Yes.
Fernando, you can be late, but also you have less risk, especially considering Bitcoin. You can enter in 2013, but in 2013 you need to face the block size war. In 2013 you had to face Mt. Gox failing and Bitcoin crashing 92%.
That's the point. That's the point. So
there is no regulation. Now you have the president speaking about it. You have all the regulation in place. ETF, you have trillions of dollars. So
yes, and also as you say, probably this is a good point. If you were earlier, probably you would be facing, of course, bigger gains but bigger risks. Now, let's say the CAGR of 30% annually, 30% return of Bitcoin in average for the risk. It's amazing.
It's great. It's amazing. Yeah,
it's amazing. Of course, it's not. It doesn't sound as fun as you put $100 and bought, like, I don't know, 10,000 Bitcoin, and now you're a billionaire. Of course, but the risk that you were taking at that time was different than now. Now, I won't say it's a zero risk asset, but it's a low risk asset with volatility that gives you in average, that will give you in average 30% return a year. So if we say that in America the money debasement and the real inflation is 15%, so you are winning. So you are not keeping your purchase power, you are increasing your purchase power. So if you think it in a retirement phase, you will retire with a lot of money. So you are gonna be the living, like, probably retiring in your 60s, living the good life. But again, you need to be patient, put the proof of work, put the study. There are no shortcuts, and that's my take.
Nothing to add. I think we had
what else? I think that we've been we can talk a little bit about Metaplanet, or I think that we are.
Yeah, me, it's just a very quickly one because I don't have many more insight. It's only what I saw available on X and on some news outlet. So Metaplanet announced another 130 billion yen, which is $880 million, to supposedly go on the market and buy more Bitcoin. They are now top 5, I think, on the Bitcoin Treasury company list. They have almost 19,000 Bitcoin, which is remarkable because considering the size and considering when they started and considering Japan being super conservative country and all the things that we know, is a remarkable outcome. I think they want to end up the year with 21,000 Bitcoin, and I think they're very close, and they will probably do it in the next weeks or so. And yes, probably while I was watching the day 2 of the Bitcoin Asia, David Bailey and Eric Trump said, yeah, also Simon should have been here with us, but he cannot. Probably hinting to some kind of big announcement that the company might have in the future. I don't know. It's
Well,
maybe speculation, but
I have inside information
you have
about that.
insight, so that's why
I
I'm
say
doing this
inside
question,
information.
not
So
question. Yes.
the thing is that I was on the conference and I was on the Metaplanet stand. I should use this cap. Not about Metaplanet, but I should use this cap because we are talking about treasury companies. So, and I'm not sponsored by the Smarter Web company. I don't have even stock on that because I cannot buy from Hong Kong. So I was at the stand of Metaplanet, and I saw Gerlovich alone. He was alone there, like a random guy. And I said, "Oh, Simon, how are you?" I say, "I appreciate what you're doing. I appreciate your. It's incredible what you are doing in Asia." And I wanted to ask him, I was with my camera asking to the people 4 questions. Stupid question like explain Bitcoin for a grandma, the wildest prediction for 2030, then the strangest thing you bought with Bitcoin and the biggest mistake you did with Bitcoin. I wanted to ask this to Simon, but he said, no, I cannot talk. My lawyer said, and he was approached by a big magazine and he said the same. He cannot talk because they will be doing a huge announcement, so he cannot talk. The lawyer said no talk, but he said take a photo, tag me, and then talk me in X. So probably in the future we can have him in our podcast. But yeah, and also Andrew Webley said me the same, that he was not possible to talk about some things because the lawyer said no, and that he was supposed to talk with Eric Trump. That, by the way, another funny story. There was the Bitcoin conference, and then there was the shitcoin Bitcoin, the runes and all these things.
Yeah.
But I
The
have a friend.
ex-ordinals.
This crap that for me it's like being it's like shit. I got this funny that is a token like a dog, a token on Bitcoin, and I have
That's
a
cute, but it's not Bitcoin. Yes.
it's not Bitcoin. Anyways, and I have a friend that she was in the podcast, and I met her here in Hong Kong. That she's from Colombia, and she worked for one of these companies. And she got me to go to this conference, a ticket, a press ticket, a media ticket. So I was there, and I was walking around. I saw a lot of people coming, like a lot of big guys with suits, and walking Eric Trump, and he walked close to me with the security in the middle. So I had him like close, but with security in the middle. I thought that he was not gonna come to Hong Kong because the security of the conference, we didn't have even have like metal detectors on the entrance or whatever. But he came, but he was gonna talk with Simon, but Simon said no because again the lawyers recommended him not
Yeah.
to not to talk. But yeah, I was with him. I took a picture with Simon.
Great
I
man.
see. I was with Alexandre from Capital B. It was really good people. The community is really good. It's open. You cannot think these guys that are CEOs of big companies, and they are so humble. They are so friendly. They are not like they don't think that they are like gods. So that's a good thing from this community. So yes, but I hope that in the future we can have. In fact, there is a conference in Japan in November, and for sure I think that I will travel. So probably I can meet Simon there and ask him to
Yeah.
be in
So
our
you
meeting.
specialize with Asia, and me, I hope to specialize with Europe. Now I will be for. I mean, in November there was the one in Amsterdam,
Yes,
all Bitcoin only conference in Amsterdam. Maybe I will go to Lugano. I don't know. So in Switzerland.
so yes, I want to go to the one in Amsterdam too, but now they open this in Japan. My thought was gonna go to Europe and go to Argentina, but it's this conference in Japan. So, and it's been a while since I didn't. I went to Japan last time in 2015, so it's gonna
Yeah,
be a
time to
good
go back
excuse
after 10 years. Yes.
to go back to Japan. So that's the point. So Marco, again,
Great
thank you
talk,
very
Fernando.
much.
Yeah, I think we're done. I think we're done for
I think
today.
we are done. I think we're done for today. I'm going to meet some friends that came to the conference. It's been a rough week because I've been meeting friends, was invited to some parties, and I can't wait until tomorrow is Monday and I come back to my normal routine, going to the gym, eating healthy. So this week is over. So, but again, I had some fun, not because of the conference itself, because I met a lot of people that I used to have in my podcast and make new connections and was amazing. So, Marco, thank you very much for your time. Repeat your social media for our audience.
Yeah, mainly on X. I would say only on X at Battistoshi93. So yes, easy
Excellent. Thank you very much, Marco, and see
for
you
now.
next week.
Yeah, for sure.
And thank you very much to everyone who is on the other side. If you like the episode, please give us a like and subscribe to our channel that we lost it again, so probably we will. I will be sharing the rumble because I'm pissed off with YouTube. So again, share this episode with the people you love. Share this episode with the people you hate because we must orange pill 8 billion people. Stay humble, stack sats, and remember, we are all Satoshi.